Hey, once again, it's me. Um, I've recently had a really kind of fun encounter. Went out to a restaurant with some friends, and they brought along a buddy from Australia. Who just, he came over to visit and just skedaddle around Idaho, I guess. Um, Anyhow, it was a lot of fun because I don't know, it was interesting. But anyhow, when it came to pay the bill, he's just like, we're all tipping, right? So we're all leaving tips for the waitress, and he was just dumbfounded by that. He's just like, "What the hell are you doing? Like, you paid the meal. Like, we don't." Like, he thought it was ridiculous that we were leaving tips. Um, and like my friends all bashed him. They were all like, how can you be so cheap? Blah blah blah. How could you be such a dick? And they all went off. And I was sitting there just like, because I'm well aware minimum wage in Australia is $16 an hour. So from his point of view, why the hell would you leave a tip? They're getting paid fine. Uh, but what he didn't know is what I explained it to him is like, here in America, the waitress is making like $3 an hour. They live off the tips. If they don't get tips, they die. And he immediately is just like, that can't be legal. I'm like, yeah, it's America, it's legal. And so he immediately understood why he was getting shit from everybody, but nobody bothered to point that out to him, which I thought was hilarious because it shows that my friends just don't know. Like in Australia, minimum wage is $16 an hour. you know, and then I felt the need to point out, oh yeah, and she also doesn't have health care, so she's making $3 an hour. She has to rely on tips to live, and she doesn't have health care. And he's just like, we have Medicare in Australia. He just immediately, like, the moral situation was like inversed. It's almost like he started feeling like, oh, it would be like going to like well, Idaho's like a third world country, but it's like going to a third world country and eating a sandwich in front of a starving person and then not realizing that they're starving. Like, he's just like, whoa, I didn't know that. uh, Anyhow, it was an interesting encounter. So yeah, if you're from another country like Australia or whatever, you come to America, leave a tip because those people, they live off those tips. You try living off of $3 or less. I think the federal minimum wage for I think it's 2.75, $2.75 for like a waitress, and then it's supposed to make up. The tips are supposed to make up to the actual minimum wage, which is like $7 and something or other cents now. Um, but yeah, something to think about if you're traveling in America and you're eating at a restaurant. All right, bye.